President Hanlon, so describe to us the student you were when you arrived at Dartmouth in 1973. What were your experiences? What were your best experiences? What were your worst experiences?
Okay, thanks, Simeon. And that was a long time ago, as we can all agree. I grew up in a small town in the northwest part of the Adirondack Mountains, a town called Gouverneur. It was a mining town. They mine, the purest talc in the world is up there, and they mine talc in that area, or they did when I was growing up. Beautiful place to grow up, for love of the outdoors, for sense of community, but not so great in terms of understanding the world and being part of the world and being highly educated. So I came here with that background, and I think I picked Dartmouth in large part just because of its visual allure. I was on a college tour with my mom, and I remember driving across the river and up the hill, looking at the Baker Library and the green, and just saying, this is it. We don't need to go anywhere else. I found it. That was before I'd met anybody, too. So that's, I think, what one of the things that led me to Dartmouth. Just felt like home. Felt like that's where I should be. Academically, it was a huge challenge, especially my freshman year, my first couple of terms, and they were also kind of really important times for me. They were times when I started to learn my own limitations. I learned that I had friends, that I could get help, that was important to do. So it was a humbling couple terms, but I think made me stronger in the end.
Wow. So some 30 years later, in 2013, you became president of Dartmouth College. Mm-hmm. Describe to us the man who took office and the new Dartmouth he met. How did you decide what kind of place you wanted Dartmouth to become?
Yeah, so the first thing that's really important, I think, is that when I came back as president, I brought many more experiences with me. I brought my experience as a Dartmouth student, which gave me a kind of understanding of the values of the institution, the sort of core values of, inclusivity and welcoming, and really that everyone should push themselves, but not necessarily compete with each other, but should push themselves. But then I also brought my experiences as a accomplished academic, both teacher and researcher, as a parent, as an alum. So I brought a whole bunch of other experiences with me, and sometimes one of the things I get from time to time is people will forget that, and they'll just think that I should be following my student experience. And my student experience was great, but there were many more things I wanted for Dartmouth beyond what I had experienced as a student. I was struck right away at how much more diverse the student body was, and how much richer the community was, and that was a great thing. But I wanted that diversity to extend to the faculty and staff as well. And we've made strides in that, but we're still not where the student body is. And I wanted to make sure that we weren't just diverse, but we were inclusive as well. Because it doesn't help to have a diverse set of perspectives if they're not actually talking to each other and mixing with each other. And so, those are things I knew I wanted for the institution. I was, as I said, I came back as an accomplished academic, and I'd seen the power that higher ed could bring, both the teaching and the learning, to positive change in the world. So I wanted the academic part of Dartmouth to be as strong and excellent and impactful as it could possibly be.